Welcome everybody to the 61st class in the Bhagavad Gita study series. And with this class, we are entering the Charama Shatkam or Antima Shatkam, the final Shatkam. Shatkam is 6 chapters. It starts with a 13th chapter. Very, very, very important chapter because it summarizes all that we know about para and aprapaka, consciousness and matter very beautifully in this chapter. Okay, it's a very um, important chapter summarizing all that we learned in the Prathama and the Madhyama Shatkams. As usual, we would like to acknowledge Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati for the traditional rendering of Vedanta as it was done for over 1,000 years, starting with Adi Shankaracharya. We'll say a small prayer. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Salutations to the lineage starting with Lord Sadashiva, with Adi Shankaracharya in the middle, and continuing up to our immediate teacher, Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati. So, again, this you should be very familiar with the organization of the Bhagavad Gita. The first 6 chapters, the Prathama Shatkam, talks about the Jiva Swarupam. That is, there is a Mahavakyam called Tattvamasi, that you are. So the Guru tells the student, oh student, know that you are that. That is the Brahman and you is the Jiva, the Jivatma, and that's the Paramatma. The Guru says, you are God. So how is that possible? So that is explained in the Charama Shatkam. So middle 6 chapters talk about Ishvara Swarupam, nature of God, and then the Charama Shatkam or the Antima Shatkam, the last 6 chapters talk about Jivatma, that is this individual mind and the reflect the consciousness with mind, and the Paramatma is the entire universe and the consciousness in there, that is the God. Swarupa Aikyam, the oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. How can you say this puny little us is the same as God? Because consciousness that pervades is the same. It's like the ocean and the wave. Wave is tiny, ocean is huge, but they're the same because they're both water. Okay? And that's what is illustrated in this Shatkam, the 6 chapters. And the sadhana that's illustrated is Jnana Yoga, the knowledge, study of scriptures to understand this. And you can't get this, to get this Jnana Yoga, already said you have to first practice Karma Yoga, all that. Here, some values of Satguna are emphasized to purify the mind. So, Satguna are values to purify the mind. In the Prathama Shatkam, it is Prayatna or individual effort to purify the mind. Then in the Madhyama Shatkam, it's Ishvara Anugraha. It is by surrendering to a higher power, your mind becomes calm and the laws of nature take effect by giving you, by blessing you. So in the Charama Shatkam, it is certain values that you follow to purify the mind. Okay. We are entering the Charama Shatkam, also as I said, called Antima Shatkam, from chapters 13 to 18. The 3 topics are Asipadartham, that is oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. Jiva is this mind-body complex with a reflected consciousness. So how does the mind shine? The mind is very inert. So in deep sleep, the mind is not working. And then when it's awake, it's shining as though it is like a separate entity. No, that light that you're seeing on the mind, it's a reflected light of the consciousness. This consciousness is pervading everywhere. In the context of the body, the consciousness is in the body. It's called Atma. And if consciousness is there everywhere after we die, why are we inert? That is because the sukshma shariram, this reflecting medium, is gone. It's gone. Once it's gone, there is no light reflecting on it, so it doesn't shine. So it is the light that is shining is called reflected light, like the moon. In Vedanta, they give the example. The sun is there, okay? It shines on the moon. The sun is always there, but depending on the angle, it may or may not shine. In a full moon, you get the full reflection, and when it's in a new moon, you get no reflection. So depending, this reflecting medium is like the sukshma shariram, the mind complex. So the moon is like that, and what you're seeing is the reflected light, that is called pratibimba. It is called chid abhasa. It's the reflected consciousness. It's not the direct sunlight, it's the reflected sunlight. So the consciousness is there everywhere, but the medium, if it's not suitable, you cannot see the light. Is it clear, everybody? Very, very important point. So there is consciousness, even in a dead body, there is consciousness, but the medium to reflect is not there. Understood, everybody? Lataji, Anuji, Patya?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what is emphasized in this chapter. It's called Asi Padartham, oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. And Jnana Yoga as a sadhana. Previously, it was meditation on God. The first, it's Prayatna, Karma Yoga. Here, it is Jnana Yoga. And then we talk about Satguna, or cultivation of noble virtues, because only a dharmic mind can absorb Vedanta. And the topics in chapter 13, Atma, Anatma, and Jnana. Atma is the consciousness, Anatma is the matter, which includes the mind, and Jnanam is that knowledge, the knowledge which tells the distinction between Atma and Anatma. So the entire Vedanta, Swamiji will say, whatever Upanishad you read, 100 Upanishads, 108 Upanishads, the Mukhya Upanishads, 10 of them on which Shankara gave commentaries, they talk about only one thing. Atma Satyam Tat Anyatra Mithya. Atma is real, everything else is unreal. Everything else refers to Anatma. And the knowledge which distinguishes is called Jnana. So the entire Vedanta is just that. Atma, Anatma, and the Jnanam. Jnanam is also called Viveka Khyati, ability to distinguish between Atma and Anatma. So in this, first, Krishna introduces Kshetram. Kshetram means field. It's a very special term. And Kshetrajna, knowledge of the field. What do you mean by field? We'll see it soon. Field refers to this body. Okay? The first shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Kshetra of Dharma, Kshetra where actions happen. So, and the Kshetram is explained in 6 to 7. Then Jnanam, ability to distinguish between Atma and Anatma, is explained. Nyayam, that which has to be known. And then this is all technical terms. Most of them are synonymous. Then the distinction between Purusha and Prakriti. All these are asked by Arjuna. So Jnana Sadhanani and Jnana Phalani are discussed in the last 11 shlokas. The Jnana Sadhana and the benefits, phalam is fruits or the benefits of knowledge. Here, so important, Jnanam refers to Satguna, or virtues. So it's used in that context. So Jnanam is definitely, knowledge is the ability to distinguish between Atma and Anatma, but here it's used in the context of Satguna, or these virtues which will purify your mind to make it easy to attain the knowledge when you study. With that, we'll go into the first question. Now, in lot of the times when Arjuna asks a question, it is based on the Bija Shloka. Remember Bija Shloka? Ravi? What's the Bija Shloka? It's not there.
The seed from the previous chapter?
Yes, previous chapter. Usually Krishna, to evoke Arjuna's curiosity, will throw a few terms. Then Arjuna will ask, what are those? Please tell me. But here, Arjuna, see, as the Gita progresses, Arjuna is also getting more mature in his outlook and understanding. He himself asks these terms. He's read them somewhere before, And he's trying to connect all the dots. So he asks, Arjuna upacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetrajnam evacha etat veditum ichchami jnanam nyekam cha keshava. Arjuna said, O Keshava, I wish to know about these things. Prakriti and Purusha. 6 terms. Kshetram and Kshetrajna. Kshetra means the field. Kshetrajna means the knower of the field. Prakriti is material, and you say, no, Purusha is the consciousness. Pura, Isha, Purusha. Puryate iti Purusha. That which pervades this body is called Purusha. And then Jnanam and Nyayam. Jnanam means knowledge. Here it's used in the context of Satguna. But Jnanam is knowledge and Nyayam is that which is to be known. What has to be known through this knowledge? So he uses 6 terms. In some editions of the Bhagavad Gita, the shlokas permitted, but we will include it. So these are called paribhasha shabdah, technical words or jargons. Paribhasha, like kind of not straightforward, very technical words. And most of them are synonymous. They're into 3 different categories. Prakriti, nature or matter. Purusha, pudyate iti Purusha, that which dwells or pervades this body, consciousness, the Lord who dwells within the body. That is called Pura. Pura Isha, the Lord of the body, is Purusha. Kshetram, the field. Kshetrajna, knower of the field. Jnanam is knowledge. Nyayam is that which has to be known. And you will see that Prakriti and Kshetram are more or less the same. It is the material universe. It is also called Anatma. This is the object of our experience. The body is the object of the experience of the Purusha. It includes both matter and energy as well as the mind. Okay? The mind is also inert. Very important. Prakriti and Cheta. Mind becomes alive because when the consciousness is shining on it. When the Sukshma Shariram, which includes the mind and the Pancha Prana, leaves the body doesn't work. So it includes both matter and energy, the Prakriti that includes both. Kshetram is in the context of the various bodies. The bodies, that is the fields. So different bodies together, it's collectively, it's a big field. Each body is a portion of a field. Okay? That is collectively all the living things. If you put the various bodies, that becomes the field. The Prakriti is in the context of the entire universe, including the inert things. So Kshetram is all the living bodies on which there is life. Prakriti is the entire universe, including the inert things like rock. So clear? Prakriti and Kshetram, more or less the same. Material universe, Anatma. It's the object of the experience. It is the Drishyam. Drashta is the seer. Drishyam is that which is seen or experienced. In 6 terms. So 2 terms are same. Now we'll look at 3 other terms. They are also same. Purusha, is very similar. Kshetrajna, Nyayam. Purusha also is called the Atma. It is a consciousness in the context of the body. Kshetrajna, consciousness in the context of all the bodies. The knower, which is the same as Brahman. So all the living things, if you see, all the bodies, so Kshetrajna is the consciousness that pervades in all the bodies. It is the same as Brahman. The consciousness is there, even in the rock. Everything is there, but Kshetrajna here refers to consciousness in the context of all bodies. Nyayam, that what has to be known? One has to know that Brahman, consciousness in the context of the universe. So all 3 are, that's why they're not exactly the same, but they're similar. So Arjuna is confused. That's why he is asking this question. Purusha, Kshetrajna, Nyayam, all consciousness. Slightly different. This is in context of the living bodies. It is Kshetrajna. In the context of a single body, it's Purusha. In the context of the entire universe, it is Brahman, or that which has to be known. Yeah. Any questions so far, everybody? Is it understood? So we've covered 5 terms. And finally, the jnanam, that knowledge. And Krishna says, in order to get that knowledge, you have to adopt the satguna, or the virtues. And as I told you, the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita is Dhritarashtra upacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavah mamaka pandavachaiva kimakurvat sanjaya. After gathering in this field of dharma, Kurukshetra, and this field of action, Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? This is the first shloka in the Bhagavad Gita. So, body is the dharma kshetra, because the body is attained because of punya. So, this human body is durlabham, very difficult to get. It is because of a lot of punyam that we've all gotten this human body. The body attained because of punya. Only with a human birth you can create punya or papa. In all other animal births and everything, you exhaust punya, or even in the deva births, you exhaust punyam. In the lower births, you exhaust papam. We create punya and papa. It's also called kurukshetra, because it creates, only in the human birth you can create punyam and papa. So it's a kurukshetram, dharma kshetram, because of punyam you got it, dharma, great dharma you've done, and you got in this body. Very important point. Understood, everybody? Are there any questions? Ravi, Aparna?
No.
Yeah, good. Understood.
Yeah, good, Ganesh.
Yeah. Jnanam refers, generally means knowledge, but here it's used in the context of the distinction between the field and the knower of the field. And Krishna declares 20 values which he calls knowledge, because when practiced, it reveals the distinction between the kshetra and the kshetrajna, the field and the knower of the field. So Krishna, we'll see all these 8 to 12. अध्यात्मना ज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतत् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यततोऽन्यथा. All these I declare to be knowledge. What is contrary, I call ignorance. So Krishna, Arjuna has asked 6 terms, and Bhagavan, you already know the answer. I told you the answer, but now Bhagavan is going to tell Arjuna, because Arjuna has heard all these terms before. Arjuna was a decent student. He was not maybe the brilliant student, because he was a warrior, right? Even the Kshatriyas, they studied in Gurukulas at those days. So he's heard these terms, but he's confused. So he's asking. Bhagavan answers, beautiful shloka, very important, worth remembering. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramithyabhidhiyate etat yobeti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tatvidaha. Bhagavan, the blessed Lord, said, Idam shariram kaunteya, this sharira, this Kshetram iti avidiyate. This body is called Kshetram, the field. There is that consciousness principle which knows this body. Etad yovetihi tam prahu. That which knows this is called Kshetrajna. There is that consciousness principle which knows this body. Vidaha, tat vidaha. This wise people call this as Kshetrajna, knower of the field. That which knows this body is called the knower of the field, because the body is the field. So, Kshetram, the field, consists of the body, and the mind is basically the mind-body complex. Why is it called Kshetram, the field? Shtiyate iti Kshetram. Kshiyate means to destroy. That which is subject to decay and destruction. Kshi means that which disintegrates. So in the Yoga Sutras also, Patya, you may know that. Tatakshiyate prakasha varanam. When you practice pranayama, it destroys the veil covering the ignorance or the illusion. So Kshi means to destroy. The body thing, we are so obsessed with the body, put makeup, all those things, Botox, everything. But look how Vedanta looks at the body. The body is something which is constantly decaying and getting destroyed. In yoga and Vedanta, we don't, so the body is important. We pay enough importance, but we don't get carried away by the body because it is constantly getting destroyed. No point in too much beauty. That Kshi means that which integrates, therefore that which decays and ultimately dies is called Kshetram. The body is also called Shariram for the same reason. Shiryate, Shiryate iti Shariram. Shiryate means that which is decaying every moment. Body is also called Deha. All these terms, you think body is beautiful? No. Look at all the terms. That which is getting decaying, that which is getting destroyed every moment. And it's called Deha. Trivida tapai takyate iti deha. That which burns due to the three sorrows is called deha. We call deha, beautiful deham, we are saying. But look at the meaning. That which is getting burnt every moment by the three types of tapam, the burning sorrows. What are those? Adhyatma tapam, adhyatmika tapam, adi bhautika. Adi atmika means internally created. Sorrow, mind, disease, everything. Adi bhautika, which is due to other animals or other people inflicting pains on us. Adi bhautika tapam. Adi dhaivika, which is beyond our control. Some earthquake comes and destroys us. Adi dhaivika, dhaivam, it is like fate almost. Adi dhaivika tapam, that which burns due to these three sorrows is called deha. Second meaning why the body is called Kshetram, Swamiji says, body is like an agriculture land. Seeds need a wet land to become a plant. Seeds are like karma, good and the bad. Karma to become karma phalam requires the body. Okay, so the body is like a fertile agriculture land in which seeds are sowed. These are good and the bad actions, creating good and bad karma phalam, punya and papa. And Kshetrajna is the knower of this field. Kshetrajna is the experience, the object of Kshetra is the experience, the object of experience. Kshetrajna is the experiencer, the subject of the experience, the illuminator. It illumines the mind. It is the consciousness principle. Is it clear? So Kshetrajna, the Purusha, Drashta, Drushimatraha in the Yoga Sutras it says, the consciousness, it just observes, it illumines, it is pure, it doesn't, it is not tainted by all the problems that happen in the mind-body complex. Okay? So, Kshetrajna is ever the experience, never the experience. You cannot know because you are that. Why can't you experience? Because you are the Kshetrajna. And we saw the five properties of the Atma, five properties of the Atma in the second chapter. Do you remember the five properties of the Atma in the second chapter? So Atma is aprameyaha, that which cannot be comprehended. You cannot comprehend yourself, right? Because you, the observer, cannot look into yourself. Therefore, Atma cannot be comprehended. There's no form, taste, nothing. It is avinashi, it's eternal or indestructible. It is sarvagataha, all-pervading. It is nirvikaraha, it's changeless, constant across time. It is, situations may change, the world will look different, there'll be flying cars, all that, but Atma will still be exactly the same as it was infinite years ago. It is akarta and abhokta, non-doer of actions, not affected by the results of actions. Atma never does an action. Atma just provides the electricity, like that electricity just provides electricity. How the wires are wound, the gadget will do different things. Okay? So Kshetrajna is the experience, it's the subject of the experience, it's the experiencer, it is the illuminator, it is the conscious principle. And the properties of consciousness, we saw, consciousness is not a property or product of the body. It's a separate entity. It continues to exist even after the fall of the body, and it needs a body to manifest itself. And this is a very important point. So the conscious, it's like a dark room. Consciousness illumines it. And how our one's thinking evolves during the study of Vedanta. How does one's thinking evolve during the study of Vedanta? We've seen that in the 5th chapter. First, before you start studying Vedanta, you think, I am the body. So you're getting too worried about the body. Then in the second stage, when you start studying Vedanta, you start thinking, there is something called consciousness in my body. Still, my body, there is an entity which is called consciousness, which is shining this light. So we saw that this light, okay, in my body, that is in my room, something else is shining the light. That's how we are thinking. And then when you start studying Gita, you come to the Antima Charama Shatkam, you will change. How? You are now saying, I am that light consciousness which is different from the body. And I'm the same consciousness in all the bodies. Okay? So that is how the evolution of thinking changes during the study of Vedanta. It is, I have an Atma, it is called Paraoksha Jnana. Para plus Aksha, seeing as different. Okay? And then Aparoksha Jnanam. I am that Atma, not seeing as different. There is an Atma versus I am the Atma. You see the difference? It's called the Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam. Shankaracharya also has a text called Aparoksha Anubhuti. So it is not seeing as different. Advaitam, not as different. Right? Then we will see one, maybe. I'm just thinking if I should go to the next shloka. We'll just start the shloka and then we'll study the meaning in detail next class. Kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetrajnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. Know me as the Kshetrajna, knower of the field in all Kshetras. That knowledge of the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna is true knowledge. The knowledge, he says, that which knows what the field is and what the knower of the field, that is the consciousness, that is true knowledge. Yatta jnanam matam, in my opinion, that is true knowledge. Okay. With this, we shall stop there.